You're watching Fugitive Red Eye. Welcome to another Red Eye Raw. Today I wanted to talk about, this also could be considered kind of a rant, the government takeover of the internet. So recently, the Biden administration passed a thing where the FCC is now going to have control over the internet, which is a massive fucking overreach, and it's really worrying. Because, you know, they'll have control over internet service providers and stuff like that to an extent. Sounds like pretty fucking dangerous and scary stuff, and will definitely not be a good thing. It's something that I'm really fucking worried about, because obviously government control is obviously something that never stops growing once it's started, right? Like, government control is always a bad thing, I think. Like, there's no such thing as temporary government control, first off. This isn't supposed to be temporary, mind you. But, yeah, no, it's bad. That said, that I think that is part of the problem of why, you know, we as a society have become so dependent on the internet. I think there's a massive problem with that in and of itself, too. Because we've become so dependent on the internet, which makes, you know, if there's anything that goes wrong with it, we're just kind of fucked, a lot of people, right? And part of that now is if the government just decides they're going to cut it off, or like, let's say, so that'll just leave people fucked, right? Get us dependent, and then say, hey, you better do what we say or we'll cut you off. Obviously, I have my own opinions on the internet. I think overall it has actually been a net negative for humanity. I love the internet in a lot of ways, but I think for society it has a lot of problems, and there's a lot of things wrong with it. You know, this is the kind of thing that when they were trying to end net neutrality that a lot of people were scared about. I can't even remember if they succeeded in that, to be perfectly honest. But then there's been other things, you know, like SOPA and PIPA, which were like things to control the internet to an extent and privacy. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Basically, the government's kind of doing a war on the internet in a way, right? I know there's that chick, Nikki Haley, who wants to run for Republican nominee for president, which, after what she said for fucking wanting to end online anonymity, yeah, that's gonna fucking tank her career. Because that's just a fucking awful take. Awful take. So, yeah, basically there's been a lot of attacks on the internet, and now the FCC will have more control over it, and that's really scary. The FCC, known for censoring, you know, television, music, that kind of thing. You know, the fellas at the freaking FCC, am I right? Like, I'm genuinely really worried about this. But on top of that, another thing that I have an issue with this is, well, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought a little bit, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to edit this because it's Red Eye Raw. I'm just kind of all over the place, because this is awful news. Oh yeah, I remember now. So, one of the commissioners of the FCC himself dissented on this, and even said, this is massive overreach, we can't do this. But they did it anyway! Boy, do I love, like, when the government controls my life and interferes with everything and, you know, has to be able to tell us what to do. Like, I mean, like, look, they've hinted at implementing, like, a Chinese-type social credit system multiple times before, right? This is just one fucking step closer to that. I'm genuinely really fucking worried. So, yeah, that's bad. The government has sort of done a hostile takeover of the internet, and I am 100% against it. Fuck the government. There you go.